Yeah, good morning, good afternoon, good evening from wherever you're opportune to be watching and listening to us from. My name is Romain Raphael King from Global Sounds Radio TV. Not here alone today on this beautiful day. With me here, I have.
Adesoya Oluwatobi Enoch is my name, and I'm popularly known as Sir Papi. Thank you for having me on this radio station.
Okay, Sapapi. It's a privilege to have you here today. Sir, please, can you tell us the reason why you're here today? What do you have for us? Because our listeners and our viewers are seated, ready to enjoy this segment with us.
I must let you know that I'm here to discuss a very important topic, and that is Christians' response and responsibility to insecurity in Nigeria, especially at a time like the one we are having in the country now.
Yeah, thank you very much about that. This is a very crucial topic because, as we all know, that a lot have been happening in our society today regarding insecurity, and Sapapi is here today to share light on Christians' response and responsibilities. What are your responsibilities? What are my responsibilities to this insecurity that is going on in our country? It is your duty to ensure that there's security. It is my duty. It is our collective duties and our responsibilities to ensure that there is peace in our society, to ensure that there is peace in our community. So, what is our own view? What is our own point of view? How do we see these things? And this is what we have brought to you today. Please stay tuned. We'll be right back. Welcome back from that short break. Um, like I said earlier, we'll be diving into the business of the day, which is the response and responsibilities of Christians about insecurity in our society as at today, yeah, in the country Nigeria. And with me, I said I have a very great guest today that will be taking us on this journey of discussion together. So, sir, please share with us the light.
Thank you for having me. Well, I just want to start with something very important. Now, there are two things trending in our nation currently, and that is Christian genocide and insurgency, or let's say terrorism. Now, I must first let people know that Christian genocide can be traced back even to the 1970s and the 60s, because in the northern part of the country back then, there has been Christian genocide. A lot of people have disagreed with this fact, but I need to let people know that the earlier the better. The earlier we believe it, the earlier we believe that this is happening in our society. It doesn't matter whether the news is covering it or not, whether you are reading it over the news or not. We should know that there are some things that are, that are limited even for the media to do, to project. So we should know that this thing, whether we believe it or not, there has been Christian genocide in the country far back then. And what is genocide? Genocide is killing people when, in the name of religion or whatever belief, when they are not attacking you. There are different kind of killings. You are permitted to kill probably when there is a war or there is a battle between two, but when the other party is not attacking you and you are attacking them in the name of religion, then that is genocidal. That is genocide. Now, but let's come to the issue at hand. That is the issue of terrorism, the issue of insurgency in the country. Now, this new wave came up around 2009 thereabout in the country. Now, there are many faces to it. Some said it is political. Some will tell you, they will argue that it is political. Some will tell you that some people brought them in, brought you raised terrorists in the country to affect or to sabotage a government that was sitting then. And some will tell you that it is religious. Some will tell you that they started it to wipe out, a religion, there is a religion agenda, there is a religious agenda in the country. Whether we believe it or not, is a national threat to our security. And I believe that it doesn't matter what your belief is, it is something that every one of us should focus on, should fight, and should declare war against. Because it doesn't make sense in whatever name to pick a weapon and begin to kill another person in the name of whatever you believe in, when the person is not attacking you back. Then I don't believe there is a justification for that. So that is the reason why we must talk about this. Because now, when you look at our society, when you look at the country now, it has become a norm that even when we hear it over the news that 10 people have been killed, we no longer feel anything about it. We feel like it is normal. Yeah, it happened day before yesterday. So if it is happening today, it has become something that should stay. Forgetting the fact that there was a time in this country where you could travel to anywhere in this country, even in the middle of the night. In fact, I remember when I was growing up and I was traveling out of my state for a very long distance. I remember that my uncle that drove me for the first time to the north was saying the best time to travel was in the middle of the night to avoid all the traffic and everything. And I remember we went to Sokoto State and he drove all the way. We left Ogun State, I think around 7 p.m. or so, and we were enjoying the journey because the road was so free and there was no traffic, there was no accident. But now you cannot even to travel in broad daylight is it cause for serious concern. You'll be so afraid. So this is the reason why we cannot just fold our arms. We can't fold our arms and say because we are not affected yet, or because it is affecting a particular part of people or a particular part of the country, we should neglect the fact that is obviously presented to us. So that is to tell you that there is a case of insecurity in this country, and I don't even care to know the history, but we have to come up and tackle the problem. That is the reason.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for sharing light on that. Sir, to tackle this issue that is before us, as a Christian body is concerned, sir, how do you think, or what are the things that you can tell us to be the solution to this problem? Because Christian, we are scared to involve in all this thing called anything called political, anything that has to do with politics. Because to me now, we know that most of these things that is happening, although some people say it's political propaganda, it is some politicians that are backing them up, things like this. And Christians, we do not want to have anything to do with anything politics. We know some Christians are into that, but once you carry anything politics, they believe that you are not more a Christian. Okay. Following the world. You are doing this. Sir, I think the first question now should be, what is it proper for Christians to go into politics? Because before we can tackle anything, before we can tackle this thing, we have to have some children of God that are in control of power. Yes, sir, please help us share light on that, sir.
Well, I want to say this, that this is not the time for Christians to fold their arms when it comes to politics. The reason is because when something is not going to affect some people alone, it's going to equally affect you. Yeah, all these things we are talking about, the reason why some people still believe that there is no genocide in the country or Christian genocide in the country is because they have proofs, which is equally true, that not only Christians are being killed. We've had stories of people being attacked in the mosque, Muslims being killed also. Now, when you as a Christian decide that, oh, as a Christian, I'm going to fold my hands, is a sin. One, if you go into politics, you are no longer a Christian anymore. When the repercussion begin to come, it's not going to affect those people alone. It's going to affect you like them. It's not going to separate you and say, oh, you didn't mingle with politicians or you didn't go into politics. Stay here, you are covered, you are saved. It is going to affect everybody. So I'm going to say here that everybody, whether you are a Christian or Muslim, must be ready to participate in politics, because whether you participate or not, politics is going to have its effect on you. When they are going to take the decision, you are going to be involved. The decision is going to be binding on you. The outcome of them going into politics will be binding on you. The result of leaving it to some set of people will definitely will affect you. But there is something I want us to look at. It is not only now about, it is not about Christians going into politics alone. It is about the impact. Now, looking at it, somebody said something that some years ago, during the time of the former president, the late president, Muhammadu Buhari, that passed on. The vice president was a pastor. The vice president was a pastor of a great church in Nigeria. Now the question is, what was his impact? Now, looking at this present time, the wife of the president is also a pastor, an ordained one in the great church too. What is the impact? We have so many believers, so many Christians now participating in politics that are even at the helm of affairs in this nation. But the question is, what are their impacts in politics? Are they talking? Are they speaking the truth? Because I've seen a kind of a gameplay that even when you become a politician as a Christian, it's as if there is another game entirely they start playing. They play politics for getting there. So it is not about having Christians in politics. It is about having Christians that are going to be a light in the darkness of politics over the nation. That is what the nation is expecting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir, for that deep talk and deep answer. I believe that you've shed light to some things that we don't understand. So our listeners and watch and people that are watching us now, we've heard that it is not bad for Christians to participate in politics. I think it is even the best thing that Christians are in charge of power, so that we can have our total freedom and our total peace of mind. Christians, daddies and mommy, please, so politics is our thing. We shouldn't neglect it, because I think when we even neglect this thing completely, then we are giving chances to the bad people to rule us and to do us the way they like. And another thing I would like you, sir, to share with us is about this bandit issue. What is really going on? Why is this killing of people? Why is there roadblocks? What is the thing that really caused this bandit? Because we've been hearing right, left, center, bandit this, bandit that. We don't even know the cause of bandit. What is this bandit? What is the full meaning of bandit? What is their job description? Why are they there? Why are they terrorizing our people? Sir, please, over to you, sir.
All right. Like I said earlier, when I started, I said uh, there are different, sides to the story. Let me say this: the one I know is that some years ago, it was raised out of religious fanaticism, and that is where it started from. And later it became political. Later it became monetary. It became a business. What we are seeing in our society today, there are different. In fact, in Nigeria alone now, we have over 22 functions of terrorist group or bandit, as you want to call them.
Wow.
Over 22 functions. We have the popular ones, that is the Boko Haram, the ISIS, the ISWAP. We have the ones that just came out, the Lakurawa, the Wulo Wulo that came out recently. And you will see that whether no matter what their purpose is, some are into it for business, and it has so much gain ground. That now it is not even limited to one ethnic group anymore. It is not limited to one tribe anymore. Now, recently, I think last week, around that should be on Thursday, a group was a group of bandits were captured. A group was captured, and they discovered that they are all Yorubas, not even Fulani anymore. They are all from Yoruba, Yoruba tribe. And this is to tell you that it has become a business, a very lucrative business that everybody want to go into. Just get weapon, and you form a group, and you are doing the business. And because it is lucrative, it is bringing in money, and that is what we are seeing. But I must say that there are four agendas, or three or four agendas, that I can see in this whole thing. The first one is the religious aspect of it. The religious aspect of it, these are the people that are committing the genocidal acts in the country, killing Christian. They believe that Christian must be wiped out and other thing. Then there is this other side that has to do with politics, and that one is even growing larger than others, because I can give you facts and figures that some years back they were brought in. This particular aspect was developed to sabotage, the effort of the sitting government that time, and because they didn't like him, they financed them, equipped them, they gave them weapons to sabotage the effort, to make the sitting government that time look weak and incompetent. And so when it's just like when you give weapons to people, number one thing is that you should know, if you give 10 weapons out, you can't recover the whole 10. So from there, these weapons were not retrieved. Yes, they made the government look bad. They made the government look weak and incompetent. People voted him out, and now their own government now came in. Now the whole thing has escalated. These factions have broke out. They have developed into forming many groups. So I think that is what is in play. But we should not. To me personally, I believe that calling them bandits is just like trying to package them. They are all terrorists. They are all terrorizing, whether it is for money, whether it is for religion, whether it is for politics, or whether it is for. There was a time they even said it is a clash. They said it is a clash between the Fulani herdsmen and the farmers. You see, we like branding them different name, making them look like as if it is just something small. But the fact remains that people are dying. They are killing people. So I myself, I will call them terrorists. All of them, I'll call them terrorists, because they are terrorizing the country. That is it.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. God bless you. You have spoken, and you have spoken well. Sir, my question goes like this: what is the solution? What do you think can be the solution of this? How can we go about it to put a stop to all this terrorism in our country, in our land, as Nigeria is concerned? What is the way forward to put a stop to this?
Well, I personally believe that whatever has a beginning, I personally believe that whatever has a beginning must have an ending. There is nothing that cannot end.
Sure.
So it doesn't matter whether it is whether it has become so grounded, it has become so powerful. If anybody tell you that it cannot end in the country, that person, because I've seen people say it cannot end. No, that's very wicked. It can end. But the first thing is this. Well, we have a government, and it depends on the government. I would like to say something here. There is no country in the world, no country that doesn't have challenges. There is no country in the world that does not have challenges. In fact, America has security. Just this week, stroke last week, people were killed in America, and that has been the case. Even developed countries, they have, in fact, yeah, so they have their own problem. So, but it is not about the problem. It is about the way the government respond to the problem. I remember when this man was Donald Trump, one of his aides, was killed. I want to remember his name. So, one of the aides of Donald, just about last month, and he was killed. I remember that immediately Donald Trump came out to say this will not be tolerated. He addressed the country, addressed the world on it, made people know that this is the government stand on it, and he made people have that alone is the first step. That's the first step, because people will feel like, okay, our government is against it, our government is frowning against it, and because of that, it is also a sign of a message of warning to whoever want to go into it again, to say, government is not going to tolerate this. So, and number two is that there is something I have seen in our country.
Okay.
I don't know if you watch news, when they catch a criminal in Nigeria, there is something they do that gets me angry all the time. It's either they ask, when they want to interrogate the criminal, it's either they ask the criminal to turn his back. They cover the criminal from the back, or they cover his face. When they want to put it on TV, they cover his face with something. Then I keep asking this question: why are they doing that? Then if you do that, that means you are hiding the identity of the criminal. So however the case ends, this guy can go back to the street and continue whatever he's doing, because he can even come to my street, start living in the next house, and I will not know that it's the guy that I saw on TV. Now compare it to what happened in America when the guy that killed that President Trump's aide was found. They released every detail about him in less than 24 hours. Everybody in America have known this guy. Everybody. It's all over the news, all over the television. They were reporting. They went back to even his childhood age to bring all the things: the primary school he attended, who he lived with, how he grew up, his friends, and everything. They released everything. So what if you by mistake see him on the street, you will know this is the person they are looking for. And that is what you see in developed countries. Once you commit a crime, they don't hide it. They put it on TV for everybody to see. But that is what we don't do in Nigeria. So the first thing, the way to end it is, number one, the government. The government has to take a decisive measure. Let there be, up to now, there is no decisive punishment for terrorists in Nigeria. There is none. You can't find it in the law. You can't find anything that has to do with terrorists in the law. So they can be arrested today and be released into the community tomorrow. And we've had the news. We've seen examples of people like that, all in the name of repenting or repentance, being taken, forgiven, released into the society, and they still go back to what they were doing. So you can see, and because of that alone, it has become, just like I said, it has become an encouragement, a motivation to people who want to go into it. Because I know that once I'm captured, in fact, they will just encourage me in our system. They will encourage you, they will brand you. Probably you even get a bigger connection, and you go back to what you are doing. And the next thing, you become bigger in evil acts. So because of that, our government needs to take Vladimir Putin. That's the president of Russia. He made a statement that I so much love. He said, to forgive terrorists is God's duty. To make you meet him is his own duty on time. That's what he said. So God will forgive you, but his own duty is to make you meet him on time. So once you are caught for terrorism, he sent you to God. Let God go and forgive you. That's what he's saying. So he's just telling you. So that statement alone has made you realize, even if you have the mind to say you want to go into terrorism, you will remember that the president is not going to forgive you. You are caught, you are proven guilty of terrorism. You go to meet your maker. It will be between you and your maker whether it's going to forgive you or not. So that is it. It is depending on our government. Our government must take a decisive, a precise measure, there must be a law that must say this: if you do this, you must face. And it is not something that because a lot of all these things we are talking about, just like I said, 22 functions, over 22 now in Nigeria alone. It is because it's as if the government is encouraging them, motivating them Not this government alone, the government that has been, because we don't have a law that frowns against them. The moment there is a law that says once you are caught as a terrorist, okay, there is no forgiveness. You are going for it. You are going to pay for what you have done, because you've taken life, you've killed people, and not that these people attacked you. You attacked them, you killed them. So there is no forgiveness. You should go. You should bear the pain. You should know what you have done too. You should feel what you have made people felt. So that is it. Then you will see that some people will run away. Some will leave Nigeria. Some will run away from Nigeria. And those who are thinking of going into it, when they see that so person has been dealt with, the other person has been dealt with, then they will have a rethink. We won't be having all of this in the country. So that is it.
Oh, thank you very much, sir.
Now,
Thank you very much, sir. In fact, you've spoken and you've spoken well. God bless you. As we've all listened and we've seen that, I think our government has to check themselves. Our governance has to be checked, because I think from what our guests have said today, I think our government are indulging all these immoralities, because if appropriate measures is being given to every attitude, every action, I think there will be limit to all this terrorism. Like he said in America, somebody was involved in immorality, and immediately every detail of that individual it was published, and before you know it, everybody knows who the terrorist is. I think if we can do that in Nigeria, but is our government ready to do this? Because I see that some parties fight another party in control just to ruin their regime and to do some sort of things, and they think by terrorizing the people in the society is the way. No, let's stop killing of our brethren. Let's stop this. It is not helping us. By the time you kill everybody, who is going to be left to govern? So our government, you've heard this. Please, let's help ourselves. Let's help the government of our dear President Tinubu. Please, we are pleading that you help us look into this issue of insecurity in our society. Thank you very much as you do that, and we pray that the Lord bless you. And coming back to Christendom, please stay tuned. Don't change the dials. You're still on Global Sound Radio TV. We'll be right back from this short break. God bless you.
some years ago, when I was in secondary school, I remember that was the time that there was this war in Liberia. There was this serious war in Liberia. Liberians were brought as refugees to, and my school happened to be one of the schools that took them in most. We had them in our schools. They were, being a missionary school, they just took them in. And we interviewed some of them, we interrogated some of them just to ask questions about everything. One of the things I was able to hold on to, and I'm still holding on to it up till now, is the fact that they said, though people have been hearing about it, some people don't believe. Some people didn't believe that they were, because, for example, the guy I spoke with, I later became his friend. That's Emmanuel. Emmanuel said something one day. He said he was living in Monrovia, the capital of Liberia, and the war have started in some villages and some towns and cities. He said some people believe that it will never get to them. So because of that, they were not prepared at all until it got to them and it wiped them away. So we say the church has the responsibility to educate people about what is happening. We must put it in our agenda, in our program now, not just to gather youth for praise nights, concert, and all these things. If they are having a concert and there is a case outside, a lot of people will be killed, and the church will be guilty of not informing and educating them. So it is time for the church to also rise up and educate the people. Then after that, we should also be sensitive to not just teaching people. We should also be sensitive. Let me clear this. On Sunday, just this Sunday, that's about 4 days ago or 3 days ago now. 3 days ago, while we were in church, I got an information that there was a church that was attacked in Kogi State, Ejiba. I don't know if I called it right, Ejiba in Kogi State, and they were attacked during the service, and they abducted the leader of
Yeah,
the
that's I
church.
think that's one of the trending news.
Yes, they abducted the leader of the church, took some people away, and only God knows their fate. Now we've not heard that they've released them. Only God knows their fate. Now, also in Eruku in Kwara State, they've attacked that same environment again, took away some people. Now, what I want to bring out is this: I saw the video of that church in Kogi State. And I saw the video of the church, not just the inside of the church, the environment of the church. And I saw that the church is in a very underdeveloped area. The area is bushy. There are just about 4 or 5 houses around the church these houses were still under construction. And I was like, God, for God's sake, Kogi State has been under attack for some time now. And these people, what should we call that? Is it an act of faith, boldness, or stupidity for them to go into such an environment and say they are worshiping without a serious security, detail around? So you see, this is where we Christian. That's not faith, sir. That is stupidity to me. That is stupidity. You ask them now, they will say they cannot stay at home on Sunday. They must go to their church. Whether there is this song we sing that Tinobanjo Tojobalo will follow Jesus. But look at it. When I was talking about it on Sunday evening, somebody said, should we now because of that not go to church? I said, but did you go to church during COVID-19? Were you not at home for almost a year during COVID-19? Were you not at home? If COVID-19 could make us stay at home, COVID was not even pointing guns to us. COVID did not come with weapon. COVID was not going to kill us immediately. It wasn't going to be sudden.
This is serious.
But we stayed at home. We started having fellowship online. Some people have not even recovered from, they have not even recovered from COVID's effects up to now. We were having services online. We were giving offerings online. We were doing almost everything online. And if we could do that during COVID-19, why can't we not? If we know that our environment is under attack, and we know that there is no serious security, details around that will protect or that will guarantee our safety, why can't we move? Okay, even if I thought we have to go to church or gather together and fellowship, why can't we look for a secure place? Okay, brother, so we are coming to your house to have our Sunday service. We will have our Sunday service. It's not about the noise. God is everywhere. But going to such a secluded area where there is the community is underdeveloped, nobody around, people are not around there. You see, that is, to me, that is like tempting God, telling God that is stupidity. So because of that, I will also say, because I must say something here. The reason why insurgency and terrorism have not even gained ground around here, though it's coming, because we have had reports of Ijebu attacked now. We have had reports of attacks in Ijebu and everything. Now, the reason why it might not thrive in this environment is because we live together. We live together. Our communities are together. Unlike where you have about, at least I've worked in the north, I've traveled to the northern part very well. You can have about 15 to 30 or 50 houses here. That's a community. You drive for the next 3 hours to see another community like that, just 15 to 50 houses. That's another community. So if this one is being attacked, before the other people will hear, they will have finished what they want to do. That's the reason why it is so thriving. It is thriving there. So because of that, but now this is a time for Christian bodies to stay together. especially to the churches in those places that is being attacked. For now, it is not godly, it is not spiritual. I don't see it as a spiritual thing that okay, you want to have your fellowship, you must have your fellowship, and you know your church is isolated in a bushy part or somewhere that is not developed, and you must go there to go and have a fellowship. I don't see it as being godly or being spiritual. I see it as being stupid.
Yeah.
That's what I see it as. I see it as being
This is
stupid.
able to tell people that they should even more, they should be the security of themselves.
Yes.
Yes, people should be more security of themselves. Yeah, this is it that we've heard. Our people, Christians, the Christian body, please, let's be security wise. Let's not because we are serving God and be stupid. Let's not because we want to serve God and be foolish. The Bible even says heaven help those who help themselves. Before even if himself will even help, you have to help yourself. So we should not endanger our lives. Like our host, our guest has said, he said we should not tempt God. So don't tempt your God. Even when the devil in the Bible went to Jesus Christ, he gave him stone that he should turn to bread. It's not as if Jesus Christ did not have the power to turn that stone to bread. But he said, thou shalt not tempt the Lord thy God. So don't tempt God. Don't say that there's nothing God cannot do. He will protect us. My brother, my sister, let us. You see, by taking caution, we are helping ourselves. By taking caution, by having in mind that security of ourselves, our life, self-security is important. So please, let's take all this into cognizance. Thank you very much for your time. The last question for today is as a society at large. Now we've talked about Christian, we've talked about politics, we've talked about every other thing. But now the last question for today is, as a public, sir, as a public, what is the intake on this insecurity thing of the thing that we're discussing about, sir?
All right. Now I want to. I would like to say this. Let me refer back, and that this is something that some people might find very absurd to hear. Some people may say, but why would I talk like this? But that's the truth. Number one thing is that I would like to advise that all community, let me just start with this, that we must be friends of each other. This is not the time to say, oh, I will not associate myself with my community. You cannot afford to stand alone now. We must stay together. The reason why I'm saying this, there was some years back, around 2011, there was a woman, a judge, living on our street back then, somewhere around this solo. There was a judge, and this woman will not associate herself with the community. Nothing, when they are doing anything community, all this, what do we call it now? The development council of the street or something. She won't associate herself. So one day, the armed robber entered the street, and the landlord started alerting themselves in the night, but they couldn't alert her. They couldn't, because she will not give them a number. She believed that she's high above them, being a judge and everything, not knowing that the armed robber had entered into her compound, and there was nobody she could call because they attacked her. She was still sleeping. There was nobody that could get information about her until they had killed, I think they killed her granddaughter or her last born. I can't remember. They killed her. Okay, they killed her her last born, and took away some valuable things in the house. It was in the morning. People were now saying, "Oh, that happened because she would not call. She would not associate herself." That's the first thing. As community, we are supposed to live together, and we are supposed to be alert now. We are supposed to be more sensitive. You see somebody in your environment that is working like a suspect, challenge the person. You don't have to say, but Kudrosi, why you let me? No. Even if he's not standing, let people come out and say, "Oga, what do you want?" We need to be very, very, and if you think this guy is suspicious, take him and hand him over to the police. At least that one will send a signal that this street is very, very sensitive. This street is they are very, very aware of what is going on. Another thing I will say, which I said some people may not like it, is the fact that as it is now, you need to also think about how to defend yourself. And that is it. That's the fact. You need to think about how to defend yourself. I remember some years back when I was in Ilorin, and when I was in Kwara State, Ilorin precisely, and there was this circular that they were going to be attacking churches. I was still young then. That was going to be attacking churches and everything. I was a student of University of Ilorin, and that was going to be attacking. They were going to be attacking churches and Christians. I remember because of that there was a circular released by Christian Association of Nigeria, Kwara State chapter, that we should not, because we thought, Christians, we don't take things like that seriously at the beginning. We thought it was a joke until a woman was coming from vigil. She is a CAC woman. She was backing a child and holding one with a mat or something, and they attacked her. They killed the child that she was backing. It was the one that she was holding that escaped, and narrated the story of how the mother was killed. Then that was when now Christian Association now released a press a kind of memo and said, we Christians in Ilorin must not start a war, but we must not run from it. I don't know if you get that concept. You are not to start it, but when it comes, defend yourself. And I remember there was this my pastor, Pastor Sam. He's from Ogbomoso, and because of the insecurity, because of the threats and everything, some churches stopped having vigil. But the pastor was like, we should come for vigil, that we will be having vigil. So we will go to church. But the first night we had the vigil, we didn't know that the pastor had gone to Ogbomoso to go and bring a gun. Hey. So he brought this double barrel locally made gun. I think probably it belongs to his father. And right there on the altar, as we were having prayers and during the night, he erected the gun, put the cartridges in the pulpit, and as we were praying. But my brother, do you know that these people actually came? They came to come and see if they could attack us in the church. But when they came, they peeped through the window, because it was a transparent glass window. They peeped through the window and they discovered that this church is prepared for them. They discovered that this church is not. They saw the gun. They saw the pastor. They saw the gun with him. They ran away until that threat died down. We were having vigil in that church. So you see, and this is to tell you, as a community, as an individual person, even as a Christian, you don't have to wait till they come. You don't have to wait till they come and they take you out like chicken. Not even like chicken anymore. Chicken will even run. They take you they pick you as a snail. You understand? So, and this is where I use the Bible passage. I believe I'm permitted to share this Bible passage, because some Christians will say, well, I once talked about this with somebody, and the person was like, why are you talking like this? But the Bible says we should not do this. I cited an example of Nehemiah, who was building the temple, building the wall, and the Bible says in the book of Nehemiah, I think Nehemiah chapter 30, I don't know, Nehemiah chapter 4, 7 to 8 or 17 to 18. The Bible says they were building with one hand and they were holding weapon in one hand. So that alone was already sending a signal to the people that when you come close, we will deal with you. Yes, we are working, we are doing the work of God, but at the same time, we are ready for you. And also, when I was sharing it with somebody, the person said, but our Jesus Christ, our Lord Jesus Christ said, if they slap you in one cheek, you should turn the other. I said, no, that's not what my Jesus Christ said that, because that was what ministry takes to win souls, not for people who want to kill you.
It was talking in parable.
Yes, it was even talking, but that was to people who want to, how you should love people, not to now give your life or to allow your life to be taken. Now, I would like to read a Bible passage which, when I read it that day, the person was like, "Shey yen wa nbe? Are you sure Jesus Christ said it?" Now, this is the book of Luke chapter 22. Luke chapter 22 verse 36. Then said he unto them, but now he that hath a purse, let him take it. A purse, just our purse. And likewise he that has likewise his scrip. He that hath no sword, let him sell his garment and buy one. Jesus Christ. Oh, it is Jesus Christ that is saying, if you don't have a sword, buy sword. He says, sell your garment, sell your clothes to go and get sword. You see, that is it. People don't know this is in the Bible. Now, enough said in verse 37. He said, for I say unto you that this that is written must yet be accomplished in me. And it was reckoned among the transgressors. For the things concerning me have an end. Now in verse 38, one of the people around him said something. He said, and they said, Lord, behold, here are two swords. That person brought out two swords. And he said unto them, it is enough. One man was holding two swords already. He said, that's okay. You see, this is because I have discovered that the reason why this thing is spreading, growing, and being empowered is because people are not repelling them. In the time of COVID, a group sprung up. They call themselves 1 million boys. Those who were around Lagos and Songo, Ogun State, a part of Ogun State, would testify to this. They took the advantage of the COVID-19 lockdown and everything. They took the advantage of it. They will storm an area. They will rob people. These boys were young boys. They will rob people. They will machete people. You know, you are going to work. They will do everything. They will take your food, take your phone, take everything. They will just enter a particular street and start robbing from the beginning of the street to the end of the street because of the lockdown. Now, because of it, communities called each other and they started coming out for vigilante. Not just the vigilante security people now, the whole community. I remember where I was living then. We will come out in the night. I will come out with my own cutlass, everybody. In fact, that is when I saw that some people on my street had guns. I didn't know. I will come out with my own cutlass. Some will come out with hoe. Some will come out whatever you can find. Some people will come out with shovel as weapon, and we will burn tires on the street to make them know that we are not sleeping. And some streets they tried to penetrate after that time, repel them, attack them back, and this whole thing died down because they know that people are not waiting for them anymore. People are already waiting to face them, not that they are staying inside the house. Because sometimes when they enter a street, they see one or two security men, security guard. They take them, kill some, tie some, and they enter the street and do whatever they want to do. Before police will come, they've gone. But when they notice that people are already coming out in large numbers, they were ready for them. You enter a street, you meet about 50 landlords on the street with their boys,
What are they looking for?
You understand? So no matter what, even if you have the biggest weapon, something inside of you will tell you that these people are ready for me. So because of that, the whole thing quickly died down. Initially, the police said they should not do that. Landlord should not do that. The landlord did not listen. In fact, I remember they would come and knock my door and say I must come out, and I will come out. My wife would be afraid, and that was how it ended. So at this stage, I must say that we too should be ready to defend ourselves. We must be security conscious. We must be alerted. We must be sensitive to our environment. We must be current to the news. We don't just go online now and watch comedies and make yourself happy alone. You must be current to what is happening so that you will know if it is coming to your vicinity or to your community or not. So I think that answers your question.
Thank you very much. In fact, this section was very nice. In fact, I feel like we should just continue saying these things on and on and on and on. Thank you very much, Sir Papi. God bless you for coming. And for his last answer to the question I asked, I hope we've all learnt a lot. I've learnt a lot. One of the things I learnt is we shouldn't be selfish. Another thing is we should be our brother's keeper. We shouldn't wait until something come onto us. When you see something happening to your next neighbor, try to show concern. By showing concern, we are actually preventing war. And the most exciting part of it was the Bible verse that he read. Oh God, I never knew this was in the Bible. Even Jesus Christ himself knew that what can rise up against us, and the way to prevent this. Somebody used to say we're laughing wo were. We're laughing wo were o. If you see say where people where they are being terrorized and I say, oh, in the name of Jesus, when Jesus Christ himself has said that we should sell our clothes to buy to buy equipment that we can use to protect ourselves. The Bible said, even said, see, give Caesar what belongs to Caesar. It is not only by giving, it is giving appropriate measures to appropriate situation.
Yes.
It's not that you should go and where you're having a headache. You say, I'm having a headache. Instead of you to use paracetamol, I believe that paracetamol will work. You leave that paracetamol, you're not saying, Father, my brother. I pray that ignorance will not kill us.
Amen.
So we really appreciate you, sir. Thank you for coming. It has really been a very nice segment with you, having you on board today. Please don't forget you're still watching Global Sound Radio TV. Thank you very much for your time that you've given to us to watch and to listen to us today. God bless you. It won't be more than this on this segment. On the next episode, we will let you know when it will be coming up. Sir Papi, please, I want you to just thank our audience and say a goodbye to them.
I want to really appreciate everybody who has been following this radio station. I want to appreciate the people here for having me this afternoon, and I must appreciate the audience at home, the listeners, the people who are watching us at home. I want to say, please be security conscious and be sensitive to environment. And please, I just want to say, please, if in case you are not, you can subscribe to this channel, like this channel, tell people about this channel. We are doing. I'm so thrilled by what I saw here today, and I pray that the Lord will keep promoting this radio station in Jesus' name.
Radio TV. Entertainment tó dájú, ìròyìn ayọ̀ tó ṣe rẹ́gírẹ́gí. Global Sounds Radio TV. Global Sound Radio ni ẹ gbọ́, tọmọdé tàgbà ẹ súnmọ́ bí ẹ wá tọ́ wò. Global Sounds Radio TV. Ìgbéga èdè wa, àṣà àti ìṣe wa. Global Sounds Radio TV. Programs that brings enlightenment.